Good afternoon. It is Sunday, Fun Day Sunday, May 3rd, 2026, at approximately a quarter to 1400. It's 2 p.m. for you civvies out there. And I am just coming back from the viewpoint at Comet Falls, which is right past Van Trump Falls on Van Trump Trail. Did about just under 2 miles, so it's going to be just under 4 miles round trip. See, there's still lots of snow. I didn't go up further, so I only did 2 and not 3.5 because there was a lot of this. And going up it, plus I had to bushwhack on the trail from where there's been a lot of debris, trees, branches, and whole trees and trunks blocking up the trail, and you literally got to climb over it. So I was like, you know what, just under 4 miles, that's good enough. Plus a pretty steep elevation gain. See, look at all this. Shoo, buddy. There we go. Got my Captain America shirt on today. Chilling. Got the OGG. Oh. Yeah. Here we are now. A third of the way through 2026. Just like that. Bam. 1/3 down, 2/3 to go. So I'm definitely trying to make the most of it. Been a heck of a year for me so far. Good. I'll start off December 31st. I got released from the doctor for my broken, dislocated ankle that was repaired. So, been hiking ever since, trying to hike as much as possible and getting there. Just did almost 28 miles in 4 days. So look how steep this is. There's the trail, but you're having to get up on the snow. Look at that little, I like these little mini waterfalls here coming down. There's one there. There's another one. Pretty cool. Yeah. Decided to start a modest budget watch collection. Went on and bought me a Subaru sooner rather than later. Saved myself at least 12 grand in the process. I'm very happy about that. I could have waited, but some bigger, you look at here, recent rock falls here. Yeah. When don't turn away good opportunities when they come. And you spend the rest of your life what ifing. That's one thing I don't do. I learned a long time ago, don't do that. Make a sound decision, don't rush into it, but be safe about stuff. If you try to be too greedy sometimes and the opportunity passes up, it's gone. I'd rather play it safe, err on the side of caution. Man, look at all these recent tree falls and rock falls. Yeah. These mountains are always changing. But oh man, these some steep steps, I tell you what. Ooh. My left leg cannot survive that, going down, bending like that. Oh, what a beautiful. See, look at that. Got to cross that. Yeah. shoot, buddy. Yeah, I'm gonna keep recording here. Let y'all see this. That way y'all can see, like, hey, sometimes the trail gives you unexpected stuff, and you just gotta roll with it. Man, everything seems like everything's trying to grab my feet and hold it down. Oh, shoot, man. Oh, I got this. Come on. I'm gonna lose my water. Yay. Ugh. All right. Well, I had to go through that. I'm glad the gnats are keeping me company. Oh man, oh man. So this is treachery. Ugh. There. Oh my goodness. I think I chose the wrong way. Hang on. There we go. My man, that little squirrel. They're gonna bushwhack over. I don't know. I told him it wasn't easy. Anyway, I hope your health's good. If not, start working on it. Working on your physical health. Lose weight. You know, to cut out some of the sodas or fats. You know, sugars, whatever. You know, eat some salads, yogurt. You know, cutting back on portions. You know, I get to eat fine because I stay within 2,000 calories a day. So I'm not eating 2 or 3 meals every time that someone that's obese or morbidly obese is. So, I mean, you got to take that in consideration. My food's going to be, a lot cheaper. You know, I got one mouth to feed. It might be one mouth, but if you're stuffing the equivalent of 3 or 4 fat mouths, you got to do something about it. You know, I'm not trying to be mean. You know, that's just the harsh reality of it. You know, I'll tell you, people don't say it, but obesity is by far of all the, you know, things there that you can avoid, you know, that are 100% preventable. I have a thyroid condition. Well, quit eating thyroids. There's no excuse. When I was a kid in the 70s, if you saw a big fat person, that meant they were rich. Because they could afford to eat. That's what you people don't realize from most of history. Human history. Couldn't eat. People were skinny. They couldn't afford to eat all the time. You know? We live in such good times. You know? And I'm proud to be an American. I am 100%. Am I proud of everything going on in this country? No. Am I proud of stuff my government's doing? No. I'm proud of any, not just the federal, local, state, city, county, Yeah. I'm just sick of all the corruption and the fraud, and the, just the bad people out there stealing. You ain't stealing food. You're robbing and stealing and killing people because you're bad, evil people. When you start calling out, there's no shame, but at least you can, make it and everybody know how these people are. And, start holding these prosecutors and these judges accountable. You let someone out and they go kill somebody. I think you should be able to target the prosecutors or the judges. You dang right. These hacktivist judges. Oh man. You Marxist POSs. Yeah. I got grand plans for you people. Oh. I'm not. Don't do what you're doing in my country and expect to get away with it. Nah. That bill's gonna come due with interest. Nobody dining dashes on us. No, we're gonna get our pound of flesh. I promise you that. But until it does, I'm gonna just be out here living my best life possible. Advise everyone to concentrate, focus less on other people's lives. You know, the fact that influencers are influencers tells you how weak and pathetic we as a species are. I will never listen to a single thing an influencer ever says. You know, or a celebrity, any celebrity. I see a celebrity now, I have nothing but contempt and disdain for them. You know, I'm like Dave Chappelle, play a hated ball. I hate you, don't even know you, and I hate you already. Hope bad things happen to you, and only to you. You know, just how these celebrities, like, one thing I will say about social media, it is open Pandora's box and let everybody know, you know, how they truly are. You know, looks like all these people drastically change their appearance. Well, now they look on the outside exactly how it matches the inside. You know, let everybody know all that paint or, you know, colored hair, metal in the face, tattoos. It's a warning. All right, telling that gentleman about the waterfall up there, what to expect and the conditions. That trail, I'm glad I stopped at Comet Falls. I'm sure I would have had to bushwhack it up a lot more and more snow the higher I got. So you know what? I don't like to be in the snow much, so that's good enough. I like being in a little bit, helps my ankle. You know, as far as double, because you're doubly using your muscles. Make sure you don't slide and everything. So, you know, like I do hiking for PT too, and, you know, rehab therapy on my knee or my ankle and knee. The knee's shot to crap too. But bad knee, bad ankle, still only one bad leg. But anyway, earlier what I was saying though, you know, you want to focus more on yourself. Quit. You focus on yourself and your family and your friends. You parents, your life needs to go on hold for now. When you had kids, decided to get married, the marriage and the family comes first. You know, quit putting the cart before the horse. You know, I'm not gonna give them any kind of like, you know, sound marriage advice and that and stuff. I know what not to do, but I've been single most of my life. But I'm a father, and I was a kid once, and I know. It's one thing I can always say: I never have lied to my son ever. I've always been honest with him. So my parents lied to me all the time growing up. When you find out that your parents are, you know, lying about crap, it makes them hypocrites. Oh man, my view changed forever. When I found out that, God dang, all parents do is lie their asses off, I said then I was never going to lie to my child. And I haven't. I've been honest with him. And I like to think he respects me because of it. I tell the ugly truth than a pretty lie. You know, but yeah, and if your child does not know how to swim, I'm just going to call you out on it. You don't love your children enough. I'm just going to say it. Yeah, you must not love your children that much. You know, that pisses you off. Good, do something about it then. I ain't talking about coming after me, because you try to come after me, oh, well, let's just say your kids are going to be orphans then. Yeah. Now do something about it as far as having your kids learn how to swim. Break the cycle. Hell, learn how to swim with them if you don't know how to swim. Freaking retard. I have no excuses or no sympathy for grown-ups that don't know how to swim. Afraid of the water. Afraid of the water. You know, now falling in rapids like that, well, you know, that's how people die. Hypothermia. But just basically being able to swim, if you fall in water and you can't do that, Shame, people. You know, but seriously, you know, start listening to your teacher's kids. Start, you know, disciplining them. You're not supposed to be friends with your children. Hell, they ought to hate you at times, and that's okay. You know, especially if you're doing the right thing. And never be afraid to apologize. I apologize to my son on stuff that I was wrong on. I'm not ashamed to admit that. You know, with my son, me and him have a pretty healthy relationship. You know, and a lot of that's because I tried to make sure, took precautions, and I was hard on him because it's a hard world, and I told him that. So if you thought I was too unjust or unfair, I'm sorry, son. You know, But every week I call my son. He picks up and answers, or he calls me back. You know, we talk. You know, I always offer, hey, if you need any help, let me know. But he don't need any help. Heck, I got him, you know, I put his name on one of my credit cards. I've always paid, you know, my bills. My credit's over 800 for a reason. And anyway, 21 years old, walk in a bank, didn't need a cosigner. On his own accord, bought a new one. I was so proud of him, even though I would have co-signed for him, so would his mama. I'm sure his stepdaddy too, but just the fact that I pay my bills off and I try to, you know, show him, hey, you know, use the system to your advantage. You can save thousands upon thousands of dollars just in interest alone. You know? Time's it getting to be? Oh, I do like that. It's North Edge Triton TI titanium. Solar, really good solar. Keeps great time. Yeah, I got one more watch to get and I'll have 10 watches. Exactly. Well, technically 12. So I got a spare, 2 spares of my favorite because they were on sale. The moon phase one. But actually to wear, I got 9. And I only get my Gen X watch in July, a couple more months, when it becomes finally re-released and available. Oh, I can't wait to get it. And then my watch collection is complete. I ain't saying I'll never buy a watch again, but if I buy a watch, I'm going to replace it. You know, I'm not going to have 30 watches and wear them once a year. No, I got a good rotation. I wear them now, and I like that. I wear watches at home too, sleeping. You know, this right here was only $67, the titanium. Heck, you can get it on sale for the steel. Of course, it weighs a little bit more. But the steel one you can get for like 45 bucks, which is a great watch. Oh, but the dial is just like not the 3D like this one is, the texture dial. So, but it's got a little wavy design on it. You know, it's not bad. So, trust me, for $45, freaking excellent watch. But I prefer the titanium. It's lighter, and I want to have a titanium watch. So 43 bucks or $67, can't beat that. All right. Anyway, though, let me go ahead and jump off here. That's about a good enough spot as any. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this hike down the mountain. And anyway, start living your best life possible, people. You know, we're already a third of the way through this year. You know, each day you go to bed happy or not happy, depressed, sad, anxious. You'll never get that day back. It's gone forever. And we only got so many days. And I'm 53 years old, so I got more daylight behind me than ahead of me. Hope I still got a lot still, but tomorrow's not guaranteed. We're not promised it, you know. So, you know, it's up to you. Anyway, y'all get out there and enjoy nature, people. Later.